Hey Algebra 1 students, so this is your chapter 6.4 standard form notes. This is your first video, so I don't expect you to really know what to do, but I'm going to give you a little bit of advice. Pause it if you ever get lost or I'm going too fast. Go back, like rewind if I'm also going too fast or if you missed anything. But I please ask that you make sure that you're following along with me and writing everything down so that you know what you're doing. So let's start with standard form. Our standard form is ax plus by equals c. So if you notice, your x and your y variables are on the same side of the equal sign. So this is standard form. So to get something in standard form, you want to make sure your x and your y are on the same side of the equal sign. So the reason you might want to use standard form instead of like the slope-intercept form is because it's helpful with finding both the x and the y intercepts, and it is also helpful when graphing. So we're going to go over these concepts during this section. So let's start with the x and y intercepts. So recall your coordinate graph. This horizontal line is your x-axis, and your vertical line is your y-axis. So when they're talking about x-intercept, that is when your graph crosses the x-axis. So right here would be your x-intercept. For the y-intercept, it is when your graph crosses the y-axis. So we're going to talk about how to find these points by using not the graph, but the equation. So we're going to find the x-intercept first. To find the x-intercept, we're going to make y equal to 0. So we have our equation 2x plus 5y equals 6. We're trying to find x, so we're going to make y equal to 0. And then we are going to solve for x. So 5 times 0 is 0, so that can cancel that. We have 2x equals 6. To solve for x, we divide by 2 on each side, so x equals 3. So our point for our x-intercept is 3, 0. Let's find our y-intercept next. So with our y-intercept, we're going to make x equal to 0. So in our equation 2x plus 5y equals 6, we're trying to solve for y. So plug in 0 for x. So that will automatically cancel your x out, and you're left with 5y equals 6. Divide by 5 on both sides. So y equals 6 over 5, or that reduces down to 1 1/5. So our y-intercept is 0, 1 1/5. So our x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis, so we can plot this point at 3, 0. So 3 is horizontal, 1, 2, 3. And we don't go up at all, so we're right here. And then we have 0, 1 1/5. So 0, 1 1/5 is approximately there. And then we connect the two with a line. So that shows that our graph crosses the x-intercept at, or the x-axis at 3, 0, and the y-axis at 0, 1 1/5. Our next example is another graphing example, and you're going to see that the standard form is very helpful when graphing. We just did a fast example. Now I'm going to slow it down a little bit. So first we have to find our x-intercept. So remember, when we're trying to find x-intercept, we make y equal to 0 so that it cancels. So 3x plus 5 times 0 equals 15. 5 times 0 is 0. We're left with 3x equals 15. Divide by 3 on each side. X equals 5. So our x-intercept is 5, 0. Let's find our y-intercept. When we're trying to find our y-intercept, we make x equal to 0 so that the x cancels. So we have 3 times 0 plus 5y equals 15. 3 times 0 cancels, so we have 5y equals 15. Divide by 5 on both sides. y equals 3. So our y-intercept is 0, 3. So now we have our two intercepts, and we are going to graph that. And remember, it only takes 2 points to make a line. So if we have our x-intercept and our y-intercept, we have 2 points, so we can connect those to make a line. So let's do that right now. So our first point is at 5, 0. So 5 is for your x. So go over to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our y is 0, so we don't go up at all. Our next point is at 0, 3. So we don't go left or right at all, and we go up 3. 1, 2, 3. So now we have 2 points, and we can connect those 2 points with the line. And there we just graphed our equation with using our intercepts. All right, moving on to the next concept. We have in example 3, we have one variable, y equals 4. So that's the equation that we have to graph. So remember that the horizontal is our x and the vertical is our y. So we are trying to find where y equals 4. So we are going to go up because we're going to go up on the y-axis since we're dealing with y. Y equals 4 right here. Okay? And y equals 4 stretches across the entire graph. That means that any point on this line, y is equal to 4. Okay, so right here, y is equal to 4. Right here, y is equal to 4. Right here is y is equal to 4. So when we're graphing y equals 4, just a number, we're going to come up with a horizontal line. So let's do x equals -3. So we go on our x-axis and we find -3. We put a dot there. And x equals 3 follows this entire line, and it goes up and down, so that no matter where you are on that line, x is equal to -3. So when we graph x, we have a vertical line. A little tip to help you out when we're graphing the y equals, when you find y, our tick marks are going horizontal. So our line just follows those tick marks. It just extends from the tick mark. Same thing with x equals. Our tick marks go up and down, or vertical. So our line is going to extend from the tick marks. They go in the same direction. Moving on to example 4. This is a new concept. We are given an equation in slope-intercept form, 2/3 x plus 6. We want to get it into standard form. Remember, standard form is ax plus by equals c. And we're going to use integers. So first step is to get it into standard form. So we're going to move our letters to be on the same side, or our variables. So move variables to the same side of the equal sign. So let's do that first. So we have y equals 2/3 x plus 6. We want to get our x over to the other side. So in order to do that, we have a positive 2/3 x. So we're going to subtract it so that it cancels. And so we have a negative 2/3 x plus y equals 6. Now the second part of the problem was to say, or said to get the equation in standard form using integers. Recall that integers are negative and positive numbers and 0. It does not include fractions, so negative 2/3 is not an integer. When you have a fraction and you want to get rid of it, you multiply everything by the denominator. So in this case, we're going to multiply everything by 3. We're actually going to multiply by a -3 because the book likes to keep x positive. So I'm going to write that down for you too. Keep x positive. Alright, so let's multiply everything by a -3. So -3, we have -2/3 x plus y equals 6. So that -3 we're going to distribute. Denominators cancel and the negatives become positives. So we have 2x. Then we have -3 times y, so that's -3y. And -3 times 16, so that's a -18. And there is our standard form equation with integers. And last example is example 5. It says write an equation in standard form to find the number of hours you need to work at each job to make a total of $130. So in your notes, I don't think you have this table, so I want you to copy the table down. And then we're going to make a new table. Remember, we're looking for an equation of how much or how many hours we need to work to make a total of $130. So our two jobs are mowing and delivering newspapers. So I want you to make two columns, one for mowing, one for delivering, and then actually make another column for total. So we're looking for the number of hours we need to work. Do we know how many hours we need to work mowing lawns? No. So if we don't know the number, what do? We put in a variable, so we're going to put in x for the number of hours mowing lawn. We don't know how many hours we need to work delivering newspapers, so for that one, we're going to put in a different variable, so we're going to use y. So now we have x for mowing and y for delivering newspapers. To figure out how much money you make from a job, you figure out how much money you get paid each hour and then how long you work, also known as your rate times your time. So in this example, the rate for mowing lawns is $12. And our time we don't know. Remember, we plugged in x for that because we didn't know the number of hours we needed to mow lawns. Okay. For delivering newspapers, we're also going to find the rate, which is $5, times the time. And we don't know the time, that's why we used a variable y. To make a full equation, notice that we have our rate, it has a $sign, a $sign. This is going to be equal to a $sign, and that was a total of $130. So how much money you make mowing lawns plus how much money you make delivering newspapers equals a total amount of $130. So our equation then is 12x plus 5y equals $130. And that's the end to chapter 6.4. So I hope you follow it along in your notes. And feel free to ask questions on Monday.